Have you ever woken up after what should have been a good night's sleep, yet your body still feels tight and your mind starts racing before you even step out of bed? That strange feeling where nothing is technically wrong but everything feels off. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not failing at anything. The truth is, how we feel in the morning is deeply connected to what happens the night before. For years, many of us were told that all we needed was 8 hours of sleep. Just close your eyes, sleep long enough, and everything would magically fix itself. But as we grow older, things change, sleep becomes lighter, digestion slows down, the nervous system reacts more easily, and life itself carries more emotional weight. If your evenings are filled with worry, late meals, endless phone scrolling, or lying in bed with a tight chest and restless thoughts, then no morning routine can fully undo that. A walk, vitamins, or coffee won't fix what the night never allowed your body to release. But here's the hopeful part. You don't need medication or expensive tools to change how you feel. You can gently guide your body and mind into calm using simple evening habits that help your nervous system feel safe again. That's exactly what this video is about. Tonight, before 10:00 p.m., you can begin practicing a few grounding, realistic habits that support digestion, relaxation, and peace of mind. Nothing fancy, just your breath, your body, and a willingness to slow down. Let's begin with something most people overlook completely: your belly. Your abdominal area is not just about digestion. It holds a large part of your nervous system and is often called the body's second brain. When your belly feels tight, bloated, or uncomfortable, your whole body stays on alert. That tension doesn't just stay physical, it affects your sleep. One of the most soothing habits I've added to my evenings is a gentle belly massage before bed. I usually use a little castor oil, but any simple oil works. I rub it onto my stomach and massage slowly in small clockwise circles. There's no right or wrong way. The goal isn't perfection, it's warmth, attention, and comfort. Afterward, I place a soft cloth over my belly and add a warm heat pack, not hot, just soothing. This small ritual helps digestion, reduces that tight, gassy feeling, and most importantly, sends a signal to my body that it's safe to let go. I'm no longer rushing. I'm no longer bracing. I'm home. If you don't have castor oil, don't worry. Olive oil or coconut oil works just fine. Even using your hands alone can help. The power is in the connection. After caring for my belly, I turn my attention to another place that quietly stores stress: my face. Especially the jaw, temples, and forehead. Many of us clench our teeth or tighten our jaw without realizing it. That tension doesn't disappear at night, it follows us into sleep. I take just a few minutes for a gentle facial massage, nothing complicated. I rub my palms together to warm them, cup them over my cheeks, close my eyes, and breathe. Then I slowly massage along my jaw, behind my ears, and over my temples. If you've never done this, you may be surprised how tender these areas feel. Sometimes I use a little facial oil, but it's not necessary. Even slow, mindful touch can help your nervous system realize that the day is over. There's nothing left to hold onto. This isn't about appearance or beauty, it's about softening, letting your body stop gripping and striving. Once my body begins to relax, I move into something warm and familiar: a cup of tea. Herbal tea has become a gentle anchor for my evenings. Different herbs support different needs: chamomile or lavender for calming the mind, ginger or fennel if digestion feels heavy, lemon balm or rose petals on emotionally heavy days. You don't need to overthink it. The ritual itself matters: boiling the water, watching the steam rise, holding the warm cup in your hands. It slows you down and reminds you that you're allowed to pause. As you sip your tea, take a look at your surroundings, especially the lighting. Bright overhead lights and blue-toned bulbs confuse the brain into thinking it's still daytime. That makes it harder to release melatonin. Around sunset, I dim the lights in my home. I switch to small lamps with warm bulbs, the kind that feel like candlelight. The room doesn't need to be perfectly lit, it just needs to feel safe and quiet. This change alone helped me stop late-night doom scrolling. I made a simple rule: no screens 2 hours before bed. It wasn't easy at first, but it made a huge difference. Without blue light and constant stimulation, the mind naturally slows down. You start reading again, sitting quietly, or actually talking to someone you love. This isn't just good for sleep, it's good for the soul. Now let's talk about dinner timing. If you've ever gone to bed with a heavy stomach, you know how uncomfortable it feels. That's because digestion is still working when your body wants to rest. One of the most impactful changes I made was finishing dinner at least 3 to 4 hours before bed. For me, that means eating around 5 or 6 p.m. when I plan to sleep by 10. It may sound early, but the difference is remarkable. Less bloating, faster sleep, lighter mornings. This isn't about eating less. It's about eating earlier so your body can fully shift into repair mode at night. Once the body is calm and the lights are low, there's one tool that costs nothing and works beautifully: your breath. Throughout the day, many of us breathe shallowly without noticing. Before bed, I sit or lie down, close my eyes, and breathe slowly through my nose, then exhale gently through my mouth. I imagine the breath moving into my belly and flowing back out. Sometimes I use box breathing, other nights 4-7-8 breathing, and sometimes just a few deep sighs are enough. These breaths activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part that allows rest, digestion, and healing. Now, one final habit made a surprising difference for me: the kind of content I allow into my mind before sleep. Self-help, productivity, and health content may be useful, but at night they can overstimulate the brain. Instead, I choose light, gentle content: fiction, poetry, or something comforting that doesn't require action. It's okay to stop improving for the night. Rest is not laziness, it's restoration. Before bed, I also try to do one small thing that brings joy, not productivity joy: journaling a single grateful thought, stretching gently, lighting a candle. These small pleasures teach the nervous system safety. All of these habits share one theme: self-kindness, not pressure, not perfection, just care. Your nervous system has carried decades of responsibility. It deserves gentleness. So tonight, choose just one habit, let it be enough, because better sleep doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing differently. As we end this video, I invite you to share in the comments what helps you unwind at night, or which habit would you like to try. Your words might help someone else feel less alone. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe to Strong Elderly Life, where we explore calm, simple ways to age with peace and strength. Here's to quieter evenings, deeper sleep, and waking up feeling more at home in your body. Crescent Moon. There's one last piece I want to talk about, and it may be the most important of all. It's not a habit you can check off a list. It's not something you do perfectly. It's something you allow. As we get older, many of us don't realize how often our bodies are still living in survival mode. Years of responsibilities, stress, caregiving, loss, and constant problem-solving train the nervous system to stay alert. Even when nothing is happening, the body stays braced, like it's waiting for the next shoe to drop. That's why so many people lie in bed exhausted but unable to fully relax. The room is quiet, the lights are off, yet the heart feels restless, thoughts wander, the body won't let go. This isn't weakness, it's conditioning. The goal of an evening routine isn't just sleep, it's retraining your nervous system to feel safe. One simple way to do this is by slowing everything down on purpose. Slower movements, slower breathing, slower thoughts. Even how you walk through your home at night matters. Instead of rushing to get everything done, try moving gently. Let each action be unhurried. When you brush your teeth, notice the feeling. When you wash your hands, feel the warm water. When you turn off the lights, pause for a second instead of rushing into bed. These tiny pauses tell your body there is no emergency, you can rest now. Another powerful practice is how you speak to yourself at night. Many people lie in bed replaying what they didn't do, what they forgot, or what they should fix tomorrow. That inner voice keeps the nervous system alert. Try this instead. As you get into bed, quietly say to yourself, "Nothing more is required of me tonight. I did enough for today. I am allowed to rest." It may feel strange at first, especially if you've spent a lifetime being responsible and productive, but repetition matters. Over time, your body begins to believe it. Some nights you may still wake up. That's okay. Instead of fighting it, place one hand on your chest or belly and breathe slowly. Remind yourself where you are. Remind yourself that you are safe. You don't need to force sleep. Sleep comes naturally when the body feels protected. Another overlooked habit is consistency. Going to bed at roughly the same time each night, even on quiet days, helps your internal clock feel secure. The body loves rhythm, it thrives on predictability. This doesn't mean rigidity, it means respect for your own needs. And if you have a night where nothing goes as planned, late dinner, extra stress, too much screen time, be gentle with yourself the next day. One imperfect night does not undo progress. Healing is not linear. The truth is, good sleep in later life isn't about chasing the perfect routine. It's about building a relationship with your body again, listening instead of pushing, responding instead of ignoring. When your evenings become softer, your days begin to change too. You wake up less irritated, your digestion feels steadier, your mind feels clearer, you don't feel as rushed by life. And perhaps most importantly, you start to feel at home inside yourself again. That sense of safety, of being settled, is something no pill can give you. It comes from repeated moments of care, night after night, little by little. So tonight, don't try to do everything. Choose one gentle act: dim the lights earlier, put your phone away, breathe slowly, touch your belly, speak kindly to yourself. Let that be enough. Because rest is not something you earn, it's something you allow. And you, at this stage of life, deserve it more than ever. Croissant mun. By the time night arrives, many of us are already tired, but not the kind of tired that brings rest. It's a deep, layered exhaustion that lives in the bones. The kind that comes from years of carrying responsibilities, worries, and expectations. And yet, even with all that fatigue, the body sometimes still struggles to sleep. That's because rest is not just the absence of activity, rest is a practice, one we were never really taught. For most of our lives, rest was treated as something we earned only after everything else was done. Finish your work, take care of everyone else, push through, then maybe you can rest. But that mindset trains the nervous system to stay alert all the time. Even in bed, the body feels like it's still on duty. What we're learning now is something very different. Rest is not a reward for productivity. Rest is a daily requirement for health, clarity, and emotional balance, especially as we age. When you begin to treat rest as part of your routine instead of something you feel guilty about, everything changes. You stop waiting until you're completely drained. You start listening earlier. You notice the signs your body gives you in the evening: the heavier eyelids, the slower thoughts, the desire for quiet. Honoring those signals is an act of wisdom, not weakness. One helpful shift is to stop measuring your nights by how perfectly you slept. Some nights will be deeper than others. Some nights you may wake up. That doesn't mean you failed. Instead, ask yourself a different question: did I offer my body a calm place to land? If the answer is yes, even partially, then that night mattered. Over time, your nervous system begins to trust that bedtime is not another task. It's a return, a coming home. You may also notice something surprising. As your evenings become gentler, your emotions soften too. You react less sharply. You feel less overwhelmed by small things. This is because a rested nervous system is a resilient one. Sleep doesn't just restore the body, it restores perspective. And here's something rarely talked about: when we rest well, we show up differently for others. We listen better, we're more patient, we feel less resentful. Rest allows kindness to flow outward because it's finally flowing inward. If you live alone, these rituals become even more important. They create a sense of companionship within yourself. If you live with others, they quietly set a tone of calm in the home. Either way, you are teaching your body a powerful message: I will not abandon myself at the end of the day. That message, repeated night after night, changes everything. So as you prepare for sleep tonight, remember this: nothing more needs to be proven, nothing more needs to be fixed right now. Tomorrow can wait. Place your hand over your heart or your belly, breathe slowly, let the day release you. Because aging well isn't about staying busy, it's about staying connected to your body, your breath, and your inner sense of peace. And when rest becomes a habit instead of a hope, sleep follows naturally. There may come a day when the silence breaks. A message appears. A call comes through. A casual "how are you" lands as if nothing ever happened. And suddenly, your heart feels everything at once: hope, fear, relief, and a quiet question you may be afraid to ask yourself: how do I respond without going back to who I was? This moment is more delicate than it seems. Because when someone returns after distance, they often expect familiarity. They expect access. They expect the old version of you, the one who adjusted, explained, and forgave quickly just to keep connection alive. But you are no longer that person. Not because you are colder, but because you are wiser. So let's talk about how to respond with strength, not self-betrayal. First, remember this. You do not owe immediate emotional access. A response does not require surrender. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to observe. You don't need to pour your heart out. You don't need to reopen old wounds. And you certainly don't need to pretend nothing hurt. Calm kindness is enough. A simple, grounded reply speaks volumes. It says, I am open, but I am not desperate. I am present, but I am not available for disrespect. This balance is new for you, and it may feel uncomfortable at first. That's okay. Growth often feels unfamiliar before it feels right. If they ask why you pulled away, resist the urge to over-explain. You are not on trial. You can speak truth gently. Without accusation. Without justification. Something as simple as, I needed time to focus on my own well-being, is more powerful than any long explanation. Because it reflects self-respect. Now here's something important many parents struggle with. If they come back without acknowledgement, without accountability, you are allowed to notice that. You don't need to punish. You don't need to demand apologies. But you do need to pay attention to patterns. Change is not proven by words. It's proven by consistency. And consistency takes time. So allow space. Let trust rebuild slowly, if it rebuilds at all. Reconnection does not mean returning to old dynamics. You are not obligated to resume emotional labor. You are not required to be endlessly available. Your peace matters now. And here's the most important truth of all. Even if they never fully come back, even if the relationship remains distant, you have not failed. Some relationships change shape with time. Some soften. Some remain limited. And that does not erase the love that once existed. You can love someone and still choose yourself. You can care without collapsing. You can remain open without being exposed. This is what emotional maturity looks like. Not bitterness. Not walls. But boundaries rooted in calm. You are no longer living from fear of loss. You are living from self-respect. And that changes how every relationship touches you. So if they return, welcome them with clarity, not urgency. If they don't, continue living fully anyway. Your life is not a waiting room. It is still unfolding. You still wake up each day with meaning. With wisdom. With a heart that has learned how to love without losing itself. That is the greatest gift age can give you. And if no one has told you this lately, let me say it clearly. You are not too much. You are not forgotten. You are not replaceable. You are becoming. And that is enough. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If these words spoke to you, share your thoughts below. Your story may help someone else feel less alone. This is Elderly Wisdom Strong Life, where healing deepens with age, and strength grows quietly, one wise choice at a time. You are not behind. You are right on time.